Thank you, Nathaniel. So good morning. And welcome to worship here at the Unitarian Universalist congregation at Shelter Rock. I'm the Reverend Dr. Natalie Fenimore. I'm joined in ministry here with the Reverend David Carl Olson. Today's worship associate is Rachel Zampino. Yay! Whether you're a visitor, a newcomer, or a longtime member, you are welcomed here. Wherever you are in your spiritual journey, you are welcome here. In this community of justice seekers, we value diversity and embrace the wisdom found in all the world's religions and cultures. We use science, reason, and an open heart to explore the meaning and mysteries of life. To learn more about this congregation and Unitarian Universalism, please visit our welcome desk in the lobby or go to our website. Today, we honor two faith traditions. This service speaks to the Jewish High Holy Days, and for those who practice earth-based spiritual traditions, we have the welcome you to the labyrinth out in the courtyard after the service to celebrate and recognize the autumn equinox. You are invited to these events today. There is an art reception in the art gallery at 1 o'clock. Our weekly lunch after the service has been prepared by the Ethical Eating Group. The meal is vegetarian. There is a modest fee, but if you are a visitor, you are our guest today. Also in the social hall after the service, there will be a presentation on the Unitarian Universalist animal ministry. On Friday, September 26th, Fourth Friday returns. It returns with karaoke and an international potluck led by the Social Justice Committee. The Racial Justice Committee will hold an online book talk, Subtle Acts of Exclusion, and you can purchase the book in our library bookstore. The school supply drive is ending next Sunday. So please, if you have supplies to bring them and put them in the bin in the lobby by next Sunday. And also, please mark your calendar for the Respectful Relations Team program with Aisha Hauser, which is on Saturday, October 4th. Now, as you all know, UUCSR is well known for its music program. And a big reason for that is our music director, Stephen Michael Smith. Stephen was announced as the national winner of the American Prize 2025 for his work with the orchestra at Shelter Rock. This prestigious award is given in recognition of excellence in the presentation of creative and significant programming of the orchestral music repertoire. So, congratulations and many thanks, Stephen. Rachel will now light our chalice.
We light our chalice, the symbol of Unitarian Universalism, with these words by Reverend Rebecca Ann Parker. Even when our hearts are broken by our own failure or the failure of others cutting into our lives, even when we have done all we can and life is still broken, there is a universal love that has never broken faith with us and never will. And now let's all rise in body or spirit as we sing together the opening hymn, number 1007, There's a River Flowing in My Soul. And now, if you'll stay standing for our words of affirmation. Love is the doctrine of this congregation. The quest for truth, its sacrament, and service is its prayer. To dwell together in peace, to seek knowledge in freedom, to serve human need, this do we affirm and covenant with each other.
From all that dwell below the skies, let songs of faith and hope arise. Let peace, goodwill on earth be sung through every land, by every tongue.
You may be seated. Each Sunday, we share an opportunity toward living our Unitarian Universalist values in the world by acts of generosity to bring positive change. The month of September will be dedicated to strengthening the ABBA school supply drive. ABBA, Able Body of Believers Alliance, begins its 20th year of providing backpacks filled with school supplies for less fortunate students in Hempstead and its surrounding neighborhoods. Book bags and school supplies are an investment in helping future generations of children break the cycle of poverty. Please help us by making a generous donation to this worthwhile endeavor. There are several ways to give. As you can see on the screen, you can use the QR code, you can go to PayPal, you can pay by check by dropping in the collection box in the main UUCSR Finance Office. Please enter September offering in the memo line. You can drop cash in the donation box. You can go to the giving page on uucsr.org to set up a one-time or recurring payment, or you can make a check out to ABBA Leadership Center, 83 Greenwich Street, Hempstead, New York, 11550. Attention, Back to School Committee.
I now invite you into a moment of meditation or prayer, silence, and reflection. With these words from Edward Searle: always there is a beginning, a new day, a new month, a new season, a new year. Forever the old passes away. The newness emerges from the richness that was. Nothing is ever lost. In the many changes time brings, what was, in some ways will be, though changed in form. As always, there is a beginning, a new day, a new month, a new season, a new year. I invite you to light a candle of joy or sorrow, memory or hope, as the Spirit moves you.
There's no need to open your hymnals for the next response. We're just going to breathe together. We're going to breathe in, and we're going to breathe out. Tenors and basses are going to start us, and if you'll just join, and the words are breathe in, breathe out.
These are days of change. Tomorrow, Monday, the astronomical summer ends and autumn begins with the autumnal equinox. And at sunset, Rosh Hashanah, the Jewish New Year, begins. These are, each times of spiritual reflection and renewal, times of prayer, of introspection, and of atonement, as well as a celebration of creation itself and the birth of humanity. For the Jewish community, Rosh Hashanah begins the new year, the beginning of a deep spiritual time, the days of awe, the high holy days, a time when God, the Creator, is close. During the days of awe, there is reflection on the year past, and goals are made for the year ahead. With God close. Rosh Hashanah then points toward Yom Kippur. Yom Kippur comes 10 days after the new year, and it's a time when our lives are reviewed. How has your behavior possibly hurt others? you ask yourself. And it is a time to seek forgiveness for wrongs done against God and against other people. For someone practicing Judaism or Christianity, offending God would mean disobeying the commandments or covenants of your faith, not following the rules that your faith tells you are God's rules for your life. Rules laid down in the Torah or the Bible and other holy books. For almost all faith traditions have rules and traditions about behavior. And they may demand obedience to a God's commands. In this time of reflection, a person prays and considers deeply the ways in which their behavior has come up short of perfection. Now, of course, there is a recognition that no human can be perfect. We all make mistakes. We all sin. We are all in need of reconciliation and repair in our relationships with the divine. It's very interesting that the divine figured out that we need to take a moment to think this over. And so there is this holiday, this time. How do we as Unitarian Universalists offend God? We too can believe and do believe in commandments and covenants like those found in the Torah. We can share that with Judaism. We can believe that there is continuity in following the order set out in history and a comfort in believing in the God of our ancestors. So Unitarian Universalists can need to seek forgiveness from God. While we can and often do reject the many stories in the Torah which tell of a God of violence and vengeance. During the days of awe in Judaism, when God is close, there is an emphasis on the attributes of God which are mercy, compassion, pardon. You may know this story. In Exodus, when Moses goes to get the 10 Commandments, what do the people do down below while he's on the mountain? They go back to worshiping the golden calf. They're afraid of their freedom. They're not sure about this new covenant, but they know the past, and many of us backslide. And there they were. And Moses comes down with these commandments, and in his anger, he breaks them. But Moses goes back to get another copy. So there is the vengeful God who's angry at the people, and Moses goes back up, and you can imagine the conversation. They're just people. Give them a break. Can we have another set of rules? And it's true, the story goes, that there is a second set that comes down with Moses, and a different relationship with God that comes down with that second set. A forgiving God, an understanding God. And there, those attributes, mercy, pardon, compassion, that is what's celebrated in Yom Kippur. Unitarian Universalists may also believe not so much in a God, but in a creative spirit, which is unlike a God who can be angry or jealous or destructive. A creative spirit of love, and love only. So how might we offend this spirit of life? We often do that by choosing to separate ourselves from the spirit of life. When we decide to maintain our relationship with that spirit of life. We gain forgiveness from it. When we decide to care for one another, to care for the earth, to care for creation, we are reconciled with the spirit of life. When we do not, we have offended it. We need to ask pardon, forgiveness. But we can show forgiveness through our actions. And through our actions, we hope that we may bring about peace and justice. I now invite you to join me in a responsive reading. It's the Litany of Atonement, which is number 637 in the gray hymnal, if you'd like to use the hymnal. Okay. I will say the words in bold, and you will say the words in italics. The words in italics are, "We forgive ourselves and each other. We begin again in love." For remaining silent when a single voice would have made a difference.
We forgive ourselves and each other. We begin again in love.
For each time that our fears have made us rigid and inaccessible.
We forgive ourselves and each other. We begin again in love.
For each time we have struck out in anger without just cause.
We forgive ourselves and each other. We begin again in love.
For each time that our greed has blinded us to the needs of others.
We forgive ourselves and each other. We begin again in love.
For the selfishness which sets us apart and alone.
We forgive ourselves and each other and begin again in love.
For falling short of the admonitions of the Spirit.
We forgive ourselves and each other. We begin again in love.
For losing sight of our unity.
We forgive ourselves and each other. We begin again in love.
For those and for so many acts, both evident and subtle, which have fueled the illusion of separateness.
We forgive ourselves and each other. We begin again in love.
So may it be. According to the Talmud, Yom Kippur atones for sins done against God, but does not atone for sins done against other human beings until the other person has been appeased. If one does not remove hatred from one's heart on Yom Kippur, their prayers are not heard. I think this is a truly remarkable aspect of Yom Kippur, the fact that a complete reconciliation, a wholeness, only comes when people come together and seek to forgive one another. Forgiveness with your God is not enough. Human beings must live together in a way that enables the world to find peace. They must forgive one another. There are, of course, many obstacles to this forgiveness. Sometimes it is our own inability to see that we are also at fault, our inability to see that we may be as guilty as another. The theologian Howard Thurman tells this very simple story. He says it's very easy to sit in judgment upon the behavior of others, but often difficult to realize that every judgment is a self-judgment. A corollary to this fact is the finding again and again that the thing that seems to me objectionable in others is something which I myself am guilty of. So he tells his story that in a few weeks during a summer series at a university, there were 2 bedrooms. He was in one, and there were 2 guys in the other. One night, when I came in, as I opened the door, I heard a voice say, "Pipe down, pipe down." This was followed by a soft thud of a pillow being thrown against the wall. In a few minutes, one of the fellows stood at the door with his hair disheveled and distraught. "I can't go to sleep," he says. "Have you ever heard such snoring? Usually I get off first to sleep and then the snoring does not disturb me, but tonight I went to bed early. There ought to be a law against it. Why doesn't his wife tell him? Or maybe she's a snorer herself." I replied that there was an extra bed in my room, said Howard Thurman, and that he could share it if my reading light didn't bother him, and he accepted gladly, assuring me that the light did not disturb him. After he had retired, and I settled down for an hour's reading, I became aware of his heavy breathing. Then it began. The most pronounced and heavy snoring I had ever heard in my life. Finally, I could not continue my reading, and I knew that I would be sleeping on the sofa. I spent the night there. I had meant to awaken early before he did so as not to embarrass him, but I overslept. And when he saw me, he said, "Oh no, don't tell me. I'll never blow my top again against snorers." The only creative attitude toward the weakness or the disabilities of another is a quiet humility. What I condemn in others may be but a reflection of myself in a mirror. So, it may be that we have a problem forgiving because it, in a way, also means that we have to say that we are wrong. Forgiveness may require us to cultivate a compassion, an understanding that none of us is perfect. We may need to lead with love as a way to come to forgiveness. But why? Why take the effort? Why forgive? It may be for you a mandate from your God. It may be something you need to do for your own well-being. You may be eaten up with anger and the desire for revenge. You may be unable to move forward because you're holding on to the past hurt. You may be unable to trust. Forgiveness may free you. Forgiveness is mostly actually about you and not the other person. While the Yom Kippur tradition asks that you seek out those you have offended or harmed, I think it is sometimes enough to forgive in your heart and your mind. An important element of forgiveness can be the acknowledgment of the grievance. You may want that, and another person is not always ready or willing to make that acknowledgment. That can be one reason it's so hard to forgive. But think about your own power to be the person who acknowledges and validates your own story. This can be an element of forgiveness. And as Joyce Meyer has written, many people think that in order to forgive, you must enter back into an active relationship with the person who has injured you. That is not true. And this misconception has caused a problem for many people who want to forgive. Because forgiveness is separate from remaining in relationship. We can forgive hurts, but not continue relationships which are hurtful, which are toxic. Without efforts of repair, without true change, no one needs to continue in relationship. As M. Blair Smith says, contrition is most difficult when it requires admitting we were wrong, which is seldom fun to do and never as enjoyable as reveling in being right. Sometimes facing up to our own fault is excruciating. Seeking forgiveness for yourself or from another person requires honesty. True forgiveness comes with honesty. It's often a challenging and painful experience of confronting the past, a time of acknowledging shortcomings, hurts, and deceptions. To forgive and be forgiven may require exposing yourself. How dishonest have you been? How angry have you been? How prideful? How confused have you been? How sad? How afraid have you been? In what ways have you done harm? In what ways has harm been done to you? Finding the capacity to forgive yourself or another can be a way of reclaiming your power to direct your own life. To see yourself fully and honestly, the good and the bad of you, and move more fully then toward the good, to choose to move more fully toward the good. The gift of human will and conscience means that you have the capacity to change the course of your life. We can turn toward the good as our own choice. For Unitarian Universalists, this is a task of both the mind and the heart, a call of both reason and spirit. It cannot be ignored that this High Holy Days comes in a season of war in Gaza. The Jewish people of Israel and those here in the U.S. are struggling with questions of faith and identity, of atonement and forgiveness, of grief and anger. In this, our land, built on the stolen labor of enslaved Africans and the stolen land of the native people, we know the long and painful journey toward forgiveness of peoples and nations. Still, unfinished here. So we can weep for and with the people of Israel and for and with the people of Gaza. And we can hope that they turn towards that long road to forgiveness and reconciliation. At this holy time of the year, at this time when the seasons change, take a moment of intentional reflection on how you may reconcile with your God, the Spirit of life, and most importantly, with your fellow human beings. Reflect on what has been. Atone for harms. Set goals for goodness and justice for the coming year. Seek forgiveness. Such efforts may bring you peace. May it be so. We will now sing hymn number 1002 in the Teal hymnal, Comfort Me. Please be seated. These are the words of the Reverend Leslie Takahashi. We return again to the season of forgiveness, and each time we come bearing gifts, a grudge to relinquish, a hatred to extinguish, a hope that is bloated and distorted, a glancing word that is wounded, Each time we walk the road towards forgiveness, we mutter that we have been here before. When we remember that forgiveness is not so much an act as an attitude, not so much a duty as a love we give ourselves, as part of the ever-unfolding new beginning. We extinguish our chalice, but not the light of truth, the warmth of community, or the fire of commitment. These we carry in our hearts until we are together again.